What is going on? Welcome back, everyone, to Utility Sports. I don't know the last time we have seen a trade rescinded. That is the news here that Charania of ESPN is reporting. Again, I was not anticipating going live today, but I figure we might as well jump on live now because this is a huge shakeup, one that I was not expecting, and one that I do think drastically impacts the season down the stretch for the Los Angeles Lakers, who did make a big trade. Remember, for Dalton Knecht, getting sent to Charlotte with a 2031, first round draft pick and a 2030 swap. And now Shams Charania here saying that the Lakers announced that the trade has been rescinded, which again, I don't know the last time we've seen anything like this. The first thing that comes to mind is the Chris Paul to Lakers trade, but that was drastically different because the NBA technically at that point in time owned what was the New Orleans Hornets. So they were trying to maximize value selling that franchise. Welcome everyone to the stream. Double B Foster Child, Dominic, Sean, DJ Sneaky. Appreciate you guys, Zach. Stay Mellow, Marcus. Glad to have you guys all back in here again. Tom says this is so funny. Couldn't have happened to a better team. Honestly, this is insane. This has pretty significant impact on this year's postseason, possibly. Like, the Lakers are, one of the top 6 seeds in the Western Conference right now. Austin Reeves just exploded for 45 points today. And now we have a trade fall through. And honestly, I've never seen this happen other than, the one that comes to mind is the Chris Paul trade getting nixed by the league office. But it just doesn't make any sense. Here we go. We have news from Bobby Marks. The trade was conditional on Mark Williams and Dalton Knecht reporting and passing a physical. Because the deadline has passed, the trade was not allowed to be amended. Williams goes back to Charlotte, connecting Cam Reddish to the Lakers. Draft picks, the draft conditions, trades are all obviously voided as well then. So, crazy. Brian Pumper here, thank you for the 5, says Lakers, Montoya, por favor. Obviously, this changes stuff pretty significantly. So, reminder here, the Lakers were reportedly interested in adding a big man not currently in the NBA. Montrezl Harrell, whose NBL season ends shortly, comes to mind. But whoa. This is again crazy, absolutely crazy. So trades were not allowed to be amended, and ultimately this does drastically change the season here for the Los Angeles Lakers, who, you kind of envisioned what Mark Williams would look like with Luka Doncic. I was anticipating a Monday film breakdown on Mark Williams and Luka Doncic together. And now Dalton Knecht is staying with the Lakers, which again is going to be kind of awkward here. This really sets up for an awkward next couple of months. Again, this is pretty insane. You typically don't see this kind of stuff happen. Ben Simmons is already signed as well. So the one thing too, let me compare their contracts real quick, because this does have financial implications for both of these teams too, which is really crazy part of this as well. So let me look at their salaries. Mark Williams is making let me look up their salaries. Mark Williams' salary. So this year he's making this year his salary is 4.094. And then when we go to Dalton Knecht this year is 3.8. So the financial difference isn't that drastic, and luckily for Charlotte, they're the ones who have a little bit more money on the books now, which they're not an apron team or anything like that. If this was the other way around, this could have impacted the Lakers quite a bit. So the locker room is going to be really awkward for both sides. Ron's Key, thanks for being in here. Marcus Kidd says, LMAO, who failed to do the physical, that we don't know yet even. The trade was conditional on Mark Williams and Dalton Knecht reporting. So the thing is, it wasn't supposedly, based on Bobby Marks' reporting here, it was not hinging on Cam Reddish's physical. which, I mean, it would make sense. The Lakers wouldn't want this trade to fall through, and the Hornets wouldn't want this trade to fall through because they can't have it. So one of these two, Mark Williams or Dalton Knecht, did not report and pass a physical. And we don't know which one right now, but yeah, essentially, Eric, is what happened here. So one of Williams or Knecht did not report and pass the physical either on time or at all. And it's based on the news here, is probably Mark Williams, because again, if we go back over to Shams, which I cannot believe that this is happening. Yes, Knecht's going to be back with the Lakers here, Jogs. The Lakers here, I think this is really important what they say. The Lakers say the Mark Williams-Dalton Knecht trade has been rescinded. I think the verbiage here by Shams Charania is extremely important. Lakers report the deal has been rescinded. Might give us insight on who didn't pass the physical. So again, this one of my big questions and concerns for the trade too was if Mark Williams is going to actually be healthy. George Hickson says 2 a.m. in the UK about to sleep. Saw this crazy news. Yeah, again, this is absolutely insane. Just not what I was expecting today. So again, so I don't know what's going on here, but obviously this is really crazy stuff. Again, I don't know the last time, I cover the NBA like very, very articulately. Like, I don't know if we've ever seen anything like this, really. So, especially post-deadline, like I think one thing that this reminds me of from a few years ago, reminder from the 2017 offseason when the Cavaliers traded Kyrie Irving for Isaiah Thomas and picks. This also featured a few other pieces in there, right? Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, and picks. IT failed his physical, but since it was in the off season, the Celtics added an additional asset to the deal to complete post-trade deadline in season makes this now impossible for LAL and Charlotte, which is, I mean, again, absolutely crazy. And this is like, I think honestly, if you're both sides, you got to be pretty upset right now. Like this is a pretty incredible, like the way that this is played out here is really insane. We got LaMelo Ball in the chat who seems very happy to have his center back. He's saying, let's go. Again, this is absolutely crazy. DeAndre here says, I heard it was something to do with his injuries worse. Probably most likely Mark Williams. Obviously, he's the one who's dealt with injuries more in his career than Dalton Knecht up to this point. Ryan here saying LeBron's 40. So what? The problem is Mark Williams is 23 and Luka's 25. I think that was the entire point of the trade. And now you have players going back, returning to teams where it's kind of awkward. So this is absolutely insane. I'm sure some fans are happy, right? Like people who have Dalton Knecht jerseys, people who have Mark Williams jerseys in Charlotte. Like this obviously is a very significant falling out of a trade. This isn't, one of the salary dumps, or this isn't, something small like that. This is a big deal. And one that does drastically change the season quite a bit in a big way. This is, again, really crazy stuff here. Just when I thought the trade deadline couldn't get crazier, it just gets to a whole new level. Again, let's go back over to the news. And as you can tell, I was extremely shocked when this popped up on my cell phone a couple minutes ago. Again, Sham Charania here reporting. I think, again, the verbiage here is really important. Lakers say the Mark Williams Dalton Knecht trade has been rescinded. Jordan here, who does some writing for me, on the Utility Sports writing team says the wrong Lakers trade. Again, craziness, absolute craziness here that I just cannot believe what has happened here. So really crazy stuff. Again, I mean, I don't think anyone saw this coming. Logan here says, league got to give Lakers picks. This ain't fair. I mean, so that's the thing is, I mean, I was credentialed last year, Bamba, by the way. So I was in locker rooms last year. So it's all right. Mike here says Lakers are going to have to wait until Kessler becomes a free agent. So this obviously like impacts the Lakers pretty significantly. So, and I mean, think about it, if you're Mark Williams, your team that you're having to return to agreed to trade you away for draft capital. So, again, we have a very significant changing here. It reminds me of the 2017 offseason when the Cavaliers trade Kyrie Irving for Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder, and picks. IT had failed his physical originally, but in the offseason, they had flexibility. Post trade deadline in season, you cannot add or you can't change the trade now. So that it just is scrapped. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, the locker room, like, get caught up on here saying is going to be crazy. Terry Terrell saying it's his back time about Mark Williams. Obviously, this is going to be a very awkward next couple of months. Again, this is either the best thing to compare this to, but it's different, obviously, because it was in-season versus off-season trade. And then otherwise, it's the Chris Paul thing. But again, Chris Paul was not because of physical or anything like that. That trade was nixed because of who owned the league and who owned specifically the Hornets at that point in time. So this is insane. Pake here says just get Dwight Howard. Milk here says Mark Williams was an overpay. I mean, Dalton is a good player. I do like Dalton Knecht. I mean, I like Mark Williams a lot too. I think both of them are crazy, solid young players in different roles. Like Knecht's obviously a very good movement shooter. Robert here wants to know if Luka can make Dalton Knecht better. I think so. I mean, you're having a movement shooter next to Luka is not a bad thing at all. So the issue now is, though, the Lakers, who didn't get any other center, are going to have to play Jackson Hayes a ton of minutes. So this is just, again, pretty insane. So Ross Yellow here says Detroit fan here, and this reminds me of that Bull trade. That's a good point too. I didn't think of that one. Arnold here saying get a center from the EuroLeague. Again, when it comes to potential Lakers options at center who are currently free agents, I think Montrezl Harrell is one. Eddie Tavares is another, who was a teammate with Luka Doncic in the NBL. Like those are the first guys that came to mind. The thing is here too, Chris Boucher is not going to get bought out. Important to note here as well that the Lakers are an apron team, so they can't sign any bought out players making more than the NTMLE, which is pretty crazy. I think, like, I'm going to put two potential Lakers options. I mean, this is, again, very crazy. Welcome everyone in here. This is not what I was expecting here today at all. Just not at all expecting this. I just broke down, by the way, earlier today, I just broke down Anthony Davis's debut with the Dallas Mavericks. I have a film study up on the channel on that. So I'm going to send that link into the chat right now if you guys want to check that out after. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. But again, not what I was expecting at all. So this is a pretty drastic change at the end of the what the heck? A pretty drastic change here at the after the trade deadline has now passed. I only decided to go live because I figured you guys would want to know what the heck's going on. I mean, I barely know what's going on here. Blue, there really isn't a buyout deadline, but it's like before the end of the season, they have to have them on their playoff roster, essentially. So Trapping here after dark says disappointing. I'm going to make a poll right now over on Twitter. I want you guys to all vote over on Twitter. Who should be more upset that the trade got rescinded. Lakers, Hornets, both. Okay, I'm going to have this live here for 1 hour. What I want you guys to all go do right now, everyone go vote on this poll, okay? I'm going to send the link to the Twitter right in the chat now. Everyone go vote on the poll. I'm going to leave the poll up for everyone to vote on. I want to see who you guys think should be more upset about the trade getting rescinded. Again, this is very, very crazy. And to Igor's point here, perhaps the way the Lakers are looking at this is if they didn't have cleared medicals on Mark Williams, they're worried he wouldn't play and that they're giving up so many draft picks. And if he wasn't going to pass the physical, obviously they're very concerned about that. So right now, a lot of people are saying the Lakers should be upset. Again, go vote though. For me, like if I was Charlotte, I think they're stacking up draft capital. So this obviously changes back our draft pick tracker quite a bit too. Art of War says just signed a big on the buyout. Remember, there's some limitations there. Now they still can. Gurish here saying that Dalton can't play in the playoffs. I mean, we don't know that yet. He can shoot the ball. So this is going to be a pretty drastic play though, because it's possible these two teams now who both felt really good about their situation, like there's a reason they agreed to make that trade, right? Both sides like the side of the deal they were getting. As Robert Lameson's saying here now, I think the Lakers specifically are in a tough spot because of this situation where they don't have a center now. Like obviously, like the Hornets, you're looking at future draft capital. I think both sides probably upset, but the Lakers are in a spot where they were kind of banking on Mark Williams being not only the center of the season for them, but the franchise center. So yeah, I don't think Dwight Howard's a realistic option. And you can see a lot of Lakers fans in here. Welcome to the stream, by the way. If you guys are enjoying so far, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. But again, this is pretty drastic. Art of War here saying Mo Bamba. And again, if you're a Lakers fan, you got to be pretty upset right now, which is what the poll here is showing over on Twitter. A lot of Lakers fans are not happy with it. With this result at all. And to Robert's point is it puts him in a tough spot this season. So again, very, very difficult situation here. And to young Lakers' point here, Hornets now, they got 3 centers playing. The only reason they traded for Nurkic was because of that Mark trade. That's a good point too. Well, they also got draft capital. So, that's part of it. They got a draft pick in that trade too for Yusuf Nurkic. But I do get your point there because they felt like they could eat Yusuf Nurkic's contract because they traded Mark Williams, in part, not completely. But I want to see your guys' votes coming in. We're at already 80 votes, but we can do way better than that. We have over 3,000 people watching live. Welcome everyone to the stream. I want you guys to all go vote. Who should be more upset right now? And when it comes to possible free agents, like Mo Bamba is one of the better options in the league right now. Otherwise you're looking at some of the options like this, where we go over to some guys who have played with Luka in the past or played with the Lakers in the past. One of them being Eddie Tavares, played with him in Real Madrid. He's extremely large. He was in the NBA for just a little bit of time. Never really had a successful NBA career, but he's got elite size and length. And then Montrezl Harrell is the complete opposite. He doesn't have elite size or length, but he's a talented offensive player who's had a good season in the NBL, averaging over 20 plus points. I mean, Alex Len, right? That could be a name to watch. That's a good shout out here from Chill Rock. Kevin here is saying Dalton's better. Kelly Prince is saying get Jahlil Okafor. So let me pull up my list of G League guys that I would like for them. Because there are a couple. Jahlil Okafor kind of comes to mind a name, right? So, I mean, this list is not super attractive though. But Moses Brown is a rebounds leader in the G League right now. He's second behind Oscar Sheboy, I'm pretty sure. I mean, this is really rough, like really, really rough for them. I mean, this is really like not a good look for what's going on here in the NBA. But Another guy could be Jamarian Sharp. He's just a huge human being, literally just huge. It's actually insane what's going on now. So, maybe Ibubaji too. But you're looking at the options here. Not pretty. The options here are extremely limited for the Los Angeles Lakers. Welcome everyone to the stream. JaVale McGee's another one. Robert Sacre. I haven't thought about that. And to Salty's point here, the Lakers probably just are not a serious contender without a center, especially in the Western Conference. This is, again, very insane. So, to this point, they would waive Cam. But to Salty's point, not having a big man to deal with AD, funny enough, Jokic, Chet / iHeart is rough. So this is, again, one of the issues here of everything kind of falling out. Jeremy, thank you for the 5. Says, I bet we see a center ask for a buyout now. Not a great one, but someone who will want to take advantage of playing time. This sucks for the players also. I mean, that's the thing is, you got Kelly Olynyk got traded from Toronto to New Orleans, but he's on a multi-year deal, so I don't really see the Pelicans buying him out unless he gives them a significant pay cut in the overall buyout. Art of War throwing in Roy Hibbert. Romel says, hi, Sheldon. Thanks for your coverage on this. Yeah, again, not something I was expecting today. Kevin, thank you for the 5. Says they got to get Dwight now. This is, again, very, very drastic differences. Appreciate you guys all for the super chats, obviously. Again, this is huge news. Over 3,000 people watching live. DeAndre Carter wants to know about DeMarcus Cousins. I just don't trust DeMarcus Cousins can move or defend in the playoffs. Kenny Lofton's 6'5". So it's rough. And to Robert's point, Anthony Davis looked awesome today. So, but I also see this perspective of people saying, the Hornets are upset because now the Lakers, this is part of the flexibility for the Lakers. They still have Dalton. They still have those picks. They could always make a trade later. The Hornets got what I thought was pretty good value on that deal. So, yeah, if the Spurs didn't sign Bismack, so he's on a 10-day, remember. Bismack Biyombo signed a 10-day contract. Could still definitely be in play down the road, but obviously more complicated now with the Spurs involved. And again, this is part of the issue, though, is we're talking about Bismack Biyombo being the Band-Aid. Bismack Biyombo is not a good big man. Bismack Biyombo is not a good big man. Okay, here we go. We have news. Thank you, Mass Temple, for tagging me so we could see it too. Mark Williams' physical with the Lakers showed multiple issues, and the team failed him on the exam. Sources tell ESPN the physical was not failed due to his back, however. The physical for Mark Williams was failed per Shams. Not due to the back, though, is an interesting nugget of info here. Wonder if Charlotte will be able to recoup the value they had in this deal now with this being public info, which is, by the way, this is again crazy given, HIPAA violations, all that kind of stuff. This should not even be legal. The fact that we're knowing this kind of information, but it's honestly insane. Daniel Tice, I don't even think the Thunder are going to buy him out. So, I don't even think OKC's going to move him. I think OKC's going to be okay with keeping him. Mitch here, he's got a good point too, and this is kind of how I feel as well, which is why I had both on the option. They lose the picks and now have a guy the whole league knows has serious injury issues. 100%. Agreed with this perspective. Like, I honestly think, both sides have a real problem now. The Lakers obviously is a more short-term problem when it comes to this postseason. Welcome everyone to the stream again. I cannot believe that this Dalton Knecht thing has happened. I'm here. Thank you guys all for the follow. I appreciate you all a ton. Again, this is absolutely crazy. Crazy stuff here. And now it seems like Charlotte won't be able to recoup that value going forward. So James Wiseman tore his Achilles. So the Lakers are kind of in a tough spot. Art of War is naming guys from the 2010s like none other. I love this. Art of War, thank you for being in here. Again, this is absolutely crazy stuff going on. Yeah, Williams' injury more severe. And the thing is, it wasn't even his back per Charania. So Hoops here wants me to put that poll on YouTube. That's a good idea. Let me go over to YouTube now and let me create that post. Yeah, that's a good idea. Text poll. Here we go. Let me set up the screen share so you guys can go vote. It'll be right here on the channel. So here we go. Let me grab the poll over here so I can just copy paste it in. But again, this is absolutely crazy. Who should be more upset that the trade got rescinded? Lakers, Hornets, both. Everyone go vote. Again, it'll be up on the community tab here on YouTube. So everyone go vote. Also subscribe while you're at it. Everyone go hit that subscribe button. Armando Baycott says Brady Thompson. Honestly, like otherwise you get to like Drew Timme, right? You're thinking about skilled bigs. Like this is not pretty. Mo Bamba, Alex Len, Alex Len's maybe the big thing here. Josh wants to know why it was rescinded again. It was because of Mark Williams failing his physical here, and it wasn't because of the back. So this is again very, very crazy. And Alan, here's the thing: they can't rework the trade because we're past the trade deadline now. So this is again the big difference here. Inside the game says Maxi Kleber for the win. Remember, Kleber's out with an injury too for a while. So let me check Maxi Kleber's injury update. And see if we have any news on it. He'll be reevaluated. So this was 2 weeks ago saying he'll be reevaluated in 8 weeks. So he's out. He's basically out for the season until the playoffs at the very earliest is when he would come back. And that's if he gets reevaluated and cleared, which again is not, I would say, the most likely thing. So make sure you guys go vote over here on the poll over here. So far we have 34 votes in. Okay. And 68% of people are saying the Lakers, which is, again, pretty comparable to what we're seeing over on Twitter. This is, again, a very, very crazy situation. A lot of insane stuff going on. Wiseman's out with an Achilles, so he's not going to be able to play. Like that's the thing is Okafor is not a good option. I'm not trying to suggest Jahlil Okafor is the Band-Aid that they need, but Al Farouk says Lakers, no roster spot for buyout. What now? I mean, they're going to have to waive somebody. Let's This is the difficult thing. Yeah, I guess the Lakers, yeah, with the salaries, they're again, this is actually pretty insane stuff. Let me go over to Bobby Marks and see if he has anything on their salary now. Yeah, okay, here we go. Let's go over here. So this is part of the problem as well. They're really like they don't have flexibility. They're only $1.6 million below the second apron. So they could go waive somebody. Otherwise, like, is it just Christian Wood? Like, does Christian Wood need to show up and play now? He hasn't even been with the team lately. Like, so Ibu Baji, Blazers legend. Yeah, I don't think he's any good. Teams do not like to cancel trades, says Ramona Shelburne, especially those as significant as the Lakers. Charlotte trade for Mark Williams, Dalton Knecht, but LA gave up a lot to get Williams. They need to feel confident he'd be healthy enough to be their starting center for the next 5 to 10 years. After a thorough evaluation of his health, they were not. Thanks for sharing this info, Ramona. Great work. A drastic shift ahead of the West playoffs and a significant dampener on Charlotte's long-term draft capital. I think this affects both teams a ton. Honestly, I do. And obviously, like, a lot of people are very upset. And I honestly understand it too. Hopefully, no one bought a Lakers. Let me. I know what to do here. Let me go over to ETN. I'm looking for one specifically here. Hopefully, no one ordered any Dalton Knecht Hornets jersey yet. Oh my goodness! I wonder if any fans ordered any jerseys here, but Taco Fall. I mean, honestly, this is insane though. Sumo here, thank you for the 2, says thoughts on Nets keeping Cam Johnson. I think it's fine. They can trade him in the offseason. They'll get a roughly similar package as long as he doesn't get hurt down the stretch of the year here. The only negative is not trading him means your team's probably going to win a couple of games here. 4,000 plus people watching live. Appreciate you guys a ton. Maybe Love Hate says poor Luka will just have to run pick and roll with Braun. So that's the thing is now the Lakers do have an extra shooter on their roster with Dalton Knecht, which I do. One thing I thought looking at the roster kind of going forward was I thought they'd maybe be a little thin on shooting. But I think being thin on shooting in the West is more acceptable than being thin on size. And I think this is going to be a really dangerous situation here for them. Cool Guy says if Lakers trade for Embiid, would they fail him? I mean, probably at this point. But that's not going to happen. Now we're past the trade deadline. Matthew, thank you for the 10, says I think the Lakers are hard capped at the second apron. So if they waive someone to clear a spot, I'm not sure if they have salary to sign someone like that. So that's the thing is that's why they're probably going to have to go G League route or they might be able to prorate a minimum for somebody. But this is, again, very, very difficult here. Rob Palenko and Connect gets back in LA. A little Jim Halpert meme. I love that. The Lakers is twofold. The Hornets tried to sneak them an injured player. The Lakers now don't have a starting center and they could have likely attained one. I completely agree with that too. So it's like, if you're LA, who knows what other moves you maybe had lined up. Like, remember there was reports about Jalen Duren being a player that they had checked in on, and ultimately they didn't get any of those deals done. But Casey here, yeah. Again, this is absolutely crazy. Welcome everyone to the stream. I hope you guys are enjoying. Make sure to smash that like button if you are. And again, this is huge news. I did not think we were going to have another NBA trade deadline stream here this year, but here we are again. And a lot of stuff has changed. We're going to go back over to Shams to see if there's any more news. But again, this is the latest in the Los Angeles Lakers extremely busy trade deadline. Mark Williams' physical with the Lakers showed multiple issues, and the team failed him on the physical exam. Physical was not failed due to his back, though. So Christian Koloko, God forbid Christian Wood. Eric says we don't know details if he had physical or not. We do now. Ultimately, Eric. So I do think there's a ton of insane stuff going on. The situation has played out quite crazy. And we're at a spot now. Welcome, by the way, King Nacho and Javon. Appreciate you guys. It's going to be the Luka show trying to elevate center play. If there is one silver lining, I don't want to tweet at Shams. Let me get out of this. If there is one silver lining for Lakers fans, the 2021-22 Mavericks made the Western Conference Finals with Dwight Powell as the starting center. So I think that's like the one silver lining here for the Lakers is maybe Luka and LeBron are just good enough. But again, this is a very significant. I mean, like, and I say this jokingly, right? Like, this is. I'm going to put that too because some people will get upset at me if I don't say this. But like, obviously it's a joke. But the situation here is not pretty. And again, it's very, very irregular for something like this to happen. BFN says Lakers' best option is Nance Jr. now. I'm so sick. So, the thing with Larry Nance Jr. is, again, you might not even be able to fit him under the apron, the second apron. So, they're going to try and prorate a minimum contract, but there's significant problems with the way that this has played out for the Lakers here. And one of the biggest issues is the salary component. So, Alex Len, this is, again, very insane. So, Justin here, thank you for the 10, says Lakers are outscoring their opponent by 18-plus points a game the last 7 without Anthony Davis. A big man would be great, but we have been the hottest in the league now. And now add Luka, AR-15, and Dalton second unit. I mean, well, the issue is you're adding Dalton Knecht, and things are going to be weird. Obviously you have Dalton Knecht back, but you agreed to trade him. Which is, again, very insane. So we're trying to keep up on all the news. Welcome everyone to the stream. Almost 4,000 people watching live. Again, craziness in the NBA right now. If you guys are looking for more NBA content, this is, of course, the best place to be for that, because if you're really curious, I had a video come out today on Anthony Davis, his debut with the Dallas Mavericks. Had highlights in there. What I thought about his debut performance, what I liked about him playing the 4, what I didn't like about him playing the 5. And then obviously I talked about his injury today too, which Lakers fans obviously I'm sure are aware of as well. So go check that one out. I do plan on having a video about Luka Doncic's debut when he does debut as well, by the way. So stay tuned for that. This is going to be the best place for you guys to be. But absolute craziness in the NBA right now. Again, I am utterly shocked about the way that this has transpired here. Just was not something that I anticipated having happen today. So, it just actually save his Dalton Knecht jersey for the rare occasion. The Hayes era. I mean, it's gonna have to be Jackson Hayes mostly here. Which is crazy. Thanks everyone for the follows over on Twitter. And again, just to make sure everyone's up to date on the news here, if you're just popping into the stream, Ramona Shelburne here, who does a great job covering especially the Los Angeles teams and the Lakers most specifically, says teams do not like to cancel trades, which is, again, what I've been saying here since the beginning of the stream in terms of how rare this is, especially those as significant as Lakers Hornets trade for the Mark Williams Dalton Knecht deal. But LA gave up a lot. They gave up, remember, a 2030 pick swap, a 2031 first, and Knecht, who was their first-round pick in 2024. And they need to feel confident that Mark Williams was the guy going forward. Their big takeaway is they didn't. Al Farouk, thank you for the 2, says, didn't Charlotte trade for Yusuf after Mark Williams? They did, yes. Obviously, there's a lot of moving pieces in this. The biggest thing, though, is Charlotte. They're not up against the second apron now where they're hard capped. The Lakers are. So the Lakers have some real problems with that. 300 wants to know, can they rework the trade so the Lakers give less so they'd be willing to take the risks? No, they are not. And the reason for that, I'm going to go over to Bobby Marks because he tweeted this, but I can explain it in the process too. It's because we're after the trade deadline. And Bobby here tweets this now. There's always risk of making a trade the day before or on deadline day because once 3 p.m. Eastern time passes on Thursday, you only have 2 choices: approve the trade or rescind the trade. And that goes back to what I had tweeted a little bit ago about an example where a physical was failed, but the teams were able to work on it because of the timeline of the deal. And the one specifically that it reminded me of here was in the 2017 offseason when the Cavaliers traded Kyrie Irving to the Boston Celtics for Isaiah Thomas, Jay Crowder draft capital. Isaiah Thomas had failed his physical with Cleveland, but I believe Boston threw in 1 or 2 extra second-round picks. I'm pretty sure it was 1 second-round pick. So inside the game here says time to coach up Tre Jamison, 10 to 12 minutes a game. Hey, he's going to be an enforcer out there if things keep going like last time. Art of War's been throwing in some classic names. I appreciate you guys. Obviously, quite a bit behind Dragan Bender. Yeah, and like Bonzo's saying here, I don't think it's necessarily over for the Lakers, right? They still have a very talented perimeter group. But yes, let me send this to him so that he can see it. So hopefully you guys do enjoy the content here again. Obviously, this has been a huge shocker today. not one that I think any of us expected. So obviously a huge shift in what has happened. And for those who haven't seen that, Mark Williams is the one who ultimately failed the physical, right? Mark Williams' physical with the Lakers showed multiple issues, and the team failed him on the exam. Thank you to everyone for the super chats, by the way. Brian, George, Jeremy, Kevin, Inside the Game, Alpha, appreciate you guys. Sumo, Maybe Love Hate, Cool Guy, Matthew, BFNS, Justin again, Alpha again, 300, Inside the Game, and Justin again says, I bet Dallas wants to rescind after AD hurt again. Yeah, that one's obviously a little bit different, though, because he actually played. That was the one thing is it was a little weird today. Mark Williams obviously did not suit up for the Lakers today. The trade had not gone through yet. Now they were anticipating that it would, but ultimately the physical is withholding this from being done. So Paz Window here says, do you think they did that on purpose for the Lakers not to get another center? This is the Lakers medical staff. The Lakers medical staff is the one saying we can't do this trade. Joe here says, I'm so happy Knecht is still a Laker. I'm sure a lot of people are. Like, Dalton Knecht's a lot of fun. I thought he was a good player coming out of Tennessee last year. I liked him as a draft prospect. If we go back to my big board here, I had him, where was he? 11th on my big board. So, I clearly was a believer in his game as well. He's a good player, but I do think there are some flaws here with the Lakers roster now, and it specifically centers around the center spot. So, Dalton Knecht will be back in LA. Never get to see him in this jersey, but obviously crazy stuff here. And to Mitchell's point here, the Hornets got to be upset too because they had a whole bunch of picks. And they get the injured guy back, exactly, like Zach's saying here too. So Dalton's going to be upset. This is, again, a very messy situation, extremely messy. One that we typically don't see something like this happen. This drastically changes the NBA this season in a way that we're not used to seeing, right? Like, very rarely does a trade get nixed, but you can't blame the Lakers for saying that this trade cannot go through. Because of how severe this physical looked for their medical department. They lose their open roster spot, but I mean, the one thing that they wouldn't have had any draft picks, basically. If they went through with this trade, they would have been out of draft picks. They wouldn't have been able to trade any draft picks. So let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find that tweet quick, and we can pull it up on the stream here too for you guys. I have to use my phone because it's quicker to find the tweets that way. So let me go to my bookmarks now. I just added it in there. And again, the Lakers, after making that trade, would have had 0 tradable raw first-round picks, 2031 pick, and the 2030 swap. Now return to LAL. Lakers may be viewed as the big man destination of the summer. We'll see how they go about it, right? The Lakers don't have their own pick in 2025, so there are going to be some flaws here, but the Lakers went from having 0 tradable first to now having their 2031 first back, the 2030 swap, and they'll also have the 2032 swap as well. So they're going to have meaningful draft capital. Phil wants to know if Jalen Hood-Scifino's back. No. Surprisingly not. Mike here saying Mason Plumlee. I mean, there's a lot of players out there that aren't going to be available. And remember, like, they couldn't even gotten Ben Simmons because Ben Simmons didn't have the ability to sign with an apron team. Jackson Hayes is an okay backup big, but obviously this is this crazy. I see Nerlens Noel in the chat. JaVale McGee, Mo Spades. Man, I haven't thought of Mo Spades for a while. Christian Wood. Obviously, this is just crazy. Eddie here saying put Taylor Swift at center. She's the center of attention tomorrow. Yeah, what's the over-under on how many times she's going to be on the screen tomorrow, huh? I'm going to say 17 and a half times. That'll be crazy. But Caitlin Clark, I mean, Chris Mim, holy cow. Tyson Chandler going to come back? Ronnie Turioff, holy cow. Ronnie Turioff's a good callback. Marcin Gortat says the Fifth Down podcast. Welcome everyone to the stream, by the way. Again, the news here, we're going to go back over to Shams real quick. Thank you to everyone who's following over on Twitter. Let's go back over to Shams here quick. And again, just so everyone sees it, 51 minutes ago, Shams reported saying the Lakers say the Mark Williams Dalton Knecht trade has been rescinded. And then ultimately, Mark Williams' physical with the Lakers showed multiple issues, and the team failed him on the exam. The physical was not failed due to his back, however. So that is, I think, important to note. But ultimately, now it's basically like the entire league now knows this, right? That the Lakers medical staff failed him. So you'd have to figure any future trades for Mark Williams is going to start at a significantly lower price point. And Barris here is saying we dodged the bullet. I mean, if this is true, if Mark Williams isn't going to be healthy, you did. So this obviously very, very crazy. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into the stream. We will stay live here for just another 10 minutes or so. We'll try and get to the hour mark just for fun. Arnell saying Kai Soto. It would be a good way to sell a lot of jerseys, I'm sure. Greg Oden, talk about injury history, huh? But Bobby here says just because the team inquires about a player doesn't mean it would happen. Yes, Bobby, I completely agree. If you've been watching the channel for any longer than a year, you would, or even any longer than a week, you would know I love Jalen Duren. Jalen Duren's one of my guys. I really, really think Jalen Duren's a great player. And I'm just saying, it makes you wonder, what else they could have done, because we had the report saying they were looking at Jalen Duren. I'm certain that they were canvassing the entire league was the whole point of what I was saying there. So Edwin here says, can they apply for a disabled player exception for Wood? I mean, even if they do that, it's not going to give them, you're going to get a couple 100,000 maybe, which I don't even think they're going to be able to do that. So shout out to Cam Reddish. This whole thing is very, very problematic. So, this obviously just throws a real wrench into the postseason for LA. Yep. Obviously crazy. Again, if we go back over here to the initial tweet, people are obviously very upset. And I mean, even this point, even though this won't happen, it just sets up for an awkward situation, right? That won't happen. Knecht's not going to sit out, but it just makes for an awkward situation. But remember now, the Lakers are going to be viewed as the place to be for centers who are lob catching, rim rolling bigs. So crazy situation. Obviously, a guy, Nick Claxton, that's who I wanted the Lakers to go get. They didn't do that. And now they're going Andrew Bynum coming out of retirement. Very crazy, man. Very crazy. Chill Mode here says, I swear I saw this coming. I knew it was weird that we hadn't seen DK in public yet. I think this whole thing is just talking about Dalton Knecht. I just think this whole thing is very, very strange. Joe says, I actually called this on Twitter on February 7th when the trade was pending, and I said it's unlikely, but I've been imagining a possibility. Joe, send me your tweet. I'll pull it up on stream. Shout out to Joe. Send it to me over here at _utility sports. Just tag me in it below it, and I'll put it up on stream. Freebird says rescind the Doncic trade next. That's not possible. The Mavs players have already been playing. Babe Networth trying to hit on me. Appreciate you. Brian Smith says now the NBA rescinded a trade. So not the NBA, ultimately the Lakers did. Which again I think is very important in the reporting here from Sham Charania. The Lakers basically decided to nix the deal. They only had two options since we were past the trade deadline. It's either the deal is done, they accept it, and just deal with Mark Williams being injured, or the sensible thing is to decline the trade now, say that we can't do it because of the physical, and have your draft picks, have Dalton Knecht back, and try and figure it out as you go. Again, this is sensible what the Lakers are doing because they basically thought Mark Williams isn't healthy enough to play for us long term. So, it's not like the biggest thing is it's not like they gave up 1 second-round pick in 2031. They gave up a first-rounder, a first-round pick swap for a 23-year-old they planned on having for the next 10 years with Luka Doncic. So, obviously craziness here in the NBA tonight. Just not anything we would have expected, but a very, very, very drastic change in the NBA. 3,000 people watching live. Again, I really hope you guys all do enjoy. If you do, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe for more content as well moving forward. Again, I'm having a lot of fun here with the content and the streams. Obviously, I was not expecting to stream again here for the NBA trade deadline, but we had very relevant news. So I hope you guys all are, again, enjoying. It's very insane. Matthew here saying LeBron can catch lobs. Yeah, the question is, can LeBron try and guard Nikola Jokic, or is LeBron 7'2"? No. That's the one difficulty here. So seeing DJ Mbanga in the chat, that's crazy. I've not thought about him for a long time. Nikola Pekovic, Minnesota Timberwolves legend. Julian here saying blessing in disguise. Like, that's the thing, is that it does come at the cost of this season a bit, seemingly. You'd have to assume, right? Obviously, you never know how the year is actually going to go, but very, very crazy what we're seeing here in terms of the overall situation. On the heels of a giant trade for Luka Doncic, now we don't know who the center of the future is for the Charlotte Hornets, but again, that could be a blessing in disguise given how injured he was. Joel Anthony, oh my goodness. Vanderbilt's at center. It's not going to be very successful, Zach, but they might have to try unique lineups. They might have to play small ball. They might have to do a whole bunch of different things. We're seeing Roy Hibbert in here. I mean, obviously the whole apron situation too, if we go back over to Bobby Marks, one of the biggest things is the Lakers made a 2-for-1 trade. They were going to trade Dalton Knecht and Cam Reddish and draft capital. And now they, instead of having 14 players and room below the second apron to sign a guy, they're no longer in that position, really. Only have $1.6 million in space. Jeremy here says Kwame Brown and Tice was waived by. Was he? Okay, I completely missed that. I completely missed that he got waived. Obviously, okay, yeah, it just happened immediately. I must have been recording right after the trade, after the trade deadline or something, because I completely missed that. But thanks for correcting me on that. I just completely missed that news, which is why if you guys tag me and stuff on Twitter, it helps me see everything, especially sometimes when I'm recording videos and stuff like that. It obviously puts in there's chances I miss news every once in a while, but I do hope you guys are enjoying. I'm going to send in the chat here a link. That link is the link to my most recent YouTube video. So make sure to go check that out. AD debut breakdown is what that is. So again, if you guys want to go check out my Anthony Davis Mavericks debut breakdown, talk about what he did really well, what he didn't do well, and how I feel about the trade for Dallas specifically now after seeing it in action. My thoughts are over here on YouTube as well for that. So let's go back over. We do have news from Shams here again. Okay, so he just was on TV with that. So I recommend checking that out. I'm going to repost it here, so you guys should go all watch it, but I cannot show it on the stream here, obviously, for copyright reasons. But craziness in the NBA. I hope you guys all have enjoyed. A lot of crazy stuff happening. I mean, obviously, that's the thing now is that Mark Williams, but the idea was when they traded for him that they were hoping he would be healthy and play. So, Lightyear's right about this. Trez has been playing really, really well this season in the NBL. So, I'm seeing a lot of Dwight Howard in the comment section. Running back with Dwight and JaVale. Joe says, I don't like people blaming Charlotte, though the trade was conditional. I'm sure the Lakers were somewhat aware. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly, Joe. It's not like the Hornets, that's the whole point of physicals. The Hornets and Lakers knew that this was a part of it. So, You know, like they're not going to just sit here and say, "Oh yeah, by the way, we think he's unplayable." Like that'll be for the medical staff to determine. Sometimes the medical staff. Here's the thing too. Sometimes medical staffs are wrong. Fun fact: before the Oklahoma City Thunder traded for Kendrick Perkins back in the day, they had a deal in place for Tyson Chandler. That trade fell through because of the medicals. Tyson Chandler then gets traded to Dallas. Dallas wins a championship with Tyson Chandler being their starting center. So obviously important news, huge news in the NBA, but it doesn't, the Lakers flagging this doesn't mean that the Lakers are necessarily right either. So Mark Williams could go on to be a 12-year pro in the league, but like at the end of the day, like they decided there was something they couldn't take, and you can't blame them for that either. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that they're 100% right either in that. Like, that's the kind of tricky thing about physicals overall. So falling here saying Robert Sacre, that's crazy. Arno says Olivier Sarr. Dude, this guy's athletic. Olivier Sarr is a summer league monster. Obviously, he's the older brother of Alex Sarr, who is the second overall pick in the 2024 NBA draft. I do think Olivier Sarr can play. He's super athletic. Super athletic. I'm sure Ben Wallace can still grab a few rebounds. Says cool kids. Jonas here says, Jonas or Jonas, I don't know how you pronounce your name, but either way, says, can they do a move on the buyout market? The roster is full, right? Yeah, so they're going to have to clear up roster space, and then the issue, too, is with that they don't really have apron room because of what Bobby Marks is saying. So, like, this might just be the way the roster is. Obviously, they have maybe a little bit of flexibility with either a G League prorated minimum. Like, they have probable ways that they could figure it out. Jeremy here says, put Rondo at center. Rob Pelinka wasted a trade now. The only thing he accomplished was getting Luka. That's still a pretty good thing to accomplish. Pretty good thing to accomplish still, but obviously kind of dampens this season a little bit for the LA Lakers. Appreciate all of you guys being in here. Darius says he loves the channel. Thank you, Darius. What a turn of events here. Shaquille O'Neal's son says Phelps or else. I'm telling you right now, Sharif O'Neal is not an NBA big man. Shipwreck says, I just bought my Connect Hornets jersey. Oh, no. I'm so sorry to hear that, man. Absolute craziness here. Again, at the NBA trade deadline, this is insane. Again, we just never really see stuff like this. There's like maybe 2 instances in the last decade that really come to mind. But, again, those are kind of outliers. It's not very often you see something like this. So it's very, very rare. Here, Hornets trying to pull fast ones. I saw someone. Oh, Greg Ostertag. There we go. Utah Jazz legend. Love that. Okay, Joe says he tagged me under his tweet. Let me see if I can find it, Joe. Let me see. Joe, I'm not seeing it. Make sure you do @_utility sports. @_utility sports over on Twitter. Try it again, Joe. I'll be watching for it here for the next 2 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna be hovering for it. So we'll see. Obviously, craziness. We're almost at an hour live stream here again, which is crazy. Was not expecting to go live again. Kevin Love. I mean, Kevin Love's firmly in Miami, so I don't think Kevin Love's gonna get bought out. Now, he's not even really a true center. Larry Sanders, name I have not thought of for a minute. We have Cowboys hater here saying that he's laughing at Lakers fans. Tractor trailer. That's an old Dallas Mavericks draft pick throwback. Traded for Dirk Nowitzki on draft night. Pick number 4, by the way, in the Dirk Nowitzki draft class. Paul Pierce draft class. That's insane. Andrea Bargnani. Okay, Bargnani. Value of Hoops here says, what do you think will happen in the coming weeks? I don't even know. Like, I have no. Again, I'm just reacting to this now. I'd have to give myself some time to think about it, and we'll have to see. I mean, Daniel Tice is probably one of the better options, really, for the Lakers, but I don't really love that. So keep that in mind. It's like very, very difficult. And obviously, I think one of the biggest things about this is it's going to be awkward. Like, it really sets up for an awkward couple of months here toward the end of the season. Very, very awkward. Thank you here, Brent, for the 5. Says, because we kept our trade package, can't we offer way more this offseason for a better, bigger star? I wouldn't say way more, Brent, but what you can offer now is let me go over here to back over to Twitter so I can find where I was talking about this. Lakers potential offer this summer could include expiring salaries of Rui Hachimura and Gabe Vincent, which is $28 million, 2031 first round pick, and then also 2030 and 2032 swap options. Any of 2026, 2028, 2030. So, like, this is kind of the package, right, that you can do. There's other salaries, obviously, you could include into this as well, but those are the two that come to mind as expiring salaries. But obviously, very, very important news in the NBA tonight, and one that I don't think any of us really expected, except for a couple maybe. We're wondering what was going on because Knecht hadn't played. Dalton Knecht's going to get a standing ovation when he hits the floor, says Joe. I believe that. Lakers fans love Dalton Knecht. I think a lot of Lakers fans were sad to see him go. So maybe Love Hate says I'm fine bringing up Koloko. Defensively, might be better than Williams anyhow. I really don't think so. I don't know. I'm not very high on the Koloko thing, but I understand what you're saying here, that he, as a stopgap, might just be okay, whatever. Like, I obviously you're not giving a huge vote of confidence in him either way. So appreciate you guys all a ton. Let's get some W's in the chat one more time here too. W chat for a W trade deadline, right? It was a crazy trade deadline. Couldn't have gone without a little bit more news, huh? Absolutely insane. Arvidas Sabonis. Yeah, is Sabonis available? And we're not talking about DeMontis. We're talking about his father. Full Hell, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you guys. Andy Massos is a Lakers fan. I'm relieved. I think that's the big thing here, right? Like, if you're a Lakers fan, you should say at least we weren't at least we're not stuck with them. Appreciate you guys throwing in the W's. I'm going to throw in a little bit more confetti here too. 2,000 people watching live. Not going to stay long for too much longer. So again, if you guys did enjoy the stream, make sure to first of all go smash that like button. I want to see how many likes we're at now on this stream. Over 359 likes. Let's get to 400 likes. That's a super low number. We can definitely get there right now. Everyone go smash that like button. Appreciate you guys all so much for being in here. Again, go check out that Anthony Davis debut. I'm sending the link in the chat right now. So go check that out. I broke down his debut if you want to see the X's and O's, what I thought about defensively, the way the Mavericks used him, and then offensively where he occupied the floor, and the play style, the play types he played within were all pretty fascinating. So they should trade for Kai Soto, pun intended, says Yuki. Obviously a lot of crazy stuff in the NBA this year. The trade deadline was absolutely wicked. Shipwreck, appreciate you saying, just gave me a like. Thank you so much. All the likes do is let me know I'm doing a good job. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. Obviously going to cut the stream here in just a minute, but thank you all for hopping in. We're also real quick, I guess one thing I need to do before we actually cut the stream is go over to the account. I'm going to show you guys how close we are to 32,000 subscribers. Please, 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 everyone, go hit that subscribe button right now. We are right on the brink of hitting 32,000 subscribers, which is insane. I didn't think we were going to get there with the trade deadline, but this news today might have pushed us right over the top. Everyone, go hit that subscribe button right now. I really do appreciate you all so much. 12 subscribers away. It updates live. So everyone go hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Lee says they're going to have to clear up some roster spots for the buyout market. I mean, yeah, so that's going to be the one of the difficulties here for them. We are 10 subscribers away. Again, super close to 32,000. Thanks again to everyone who left a super chat. Brent here says the Screws Lakers could have pivoted to another big. Thank you, Brent, for the 2. Ethan, thank you for the 2 as well. Wants to know about Alex Len. I think Alex Len is a legitimate option for them as well. Steven, thank you for hitting that subscribe button. Let me know in the comment section if you just now subscribed. Thank you, Mr. Coco Nuts, for that as well. A lot of craziness. Devin here is want to know about Carlos Boozer. I mean, his sons are almost in the league. That's how old Carlos Boozer is. Appreciate you guys all so much. Again, 2 subscribers away from 32,000. Look at that. If you hit that subscribe button right now, you'll be lucky number 32,000. There we are. Let's get 32,000 hype in the chat. Everyone throw in a 32K in the chat right now. That's absolutely epic. You guys saw that we had hit just 30,000 a couple days ago. And now we're up to 32K, which I love to see. Appreciate you guys all so much. Thank you, Hoop63. Thank you, Cy and James, for being in here tonight. Thank you, Mark, Emmanuel, Art of War. Appreciate you guys all a ton. Art of War just keeps going with some throwbacks. Joe, thank you for being in here tonight. Lee, thank you as well. Appreciate you guys. Devrick, thank you. I know you've been in the chat a bunch in the past. Smoke, thank you for being in here. Cool Kids, thank you again. Marlon, he wants to know if we didn't get Mark Williams, who would have the Lakers gone after. I thought one that made a ton of sense was Nick Claxton. Ultimately, it didn't happen. And now the Lakers are maybe wondering if it should have happened. Justin, thank you for the 2. He says, who are the best centers that could be available? Daniel Tice probably right at the top of the list. Montrezl Harrell as a signing out of the NBL could make some sense. Thank you guys all so much. Again, very awesome that we hit 32,000 subscribers live on the channel. That is just super, super sweet. And again, I'm very, very thankful for you. After this stream, I'm going to end the stream here in just a minute. What I want you guys to go do, though, right now is everyone go over to the channel right now. Everyone go click on the channel. And what you're going to go do is check out this video, this Anthony Davis Dallas Mavericks debut. I broke down his film. Devin, thank you so much for hitting that subscribe button. Justin, appreciate you throwing in the W's. Maheen says Mo Bamba's good. How about DeJuan Blair? You guys probably haven't heard that name in a hot minute. Devin says, love this page. Thank you guys. Make sure you guys all go vote on that poll. Let me know who you think got the short end of the stick here. Was it the Lakers or was it the Hornets? And again, everyone go check out this video as well. I'm going to send the link in one more time. Everyone go click this link right now. Everyone go watch that video. Go comment on that video. Let me know your thoughts on Anthony Davis's debut with the Dallas Mavericks. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Joseph, just real quick again for everyone here, just a quick little recap. The reason that the trade failed here, the reason that the trade did not go through, according to Charania of ESPN, was that the Lakers had multiple issues with the team, failing him on his physical. So the Lakers are the ones who nixed the trade ultimately. Appreciate you guys all so much. JH says Kendrick Perkins, former Oklahoma City Thunder leader. Mark, appreciate you being in here. Shipwreck. Yep. Health liability. Sam Perkins says Corey. But again, thank you all so much. Make sure you guys go click this link. Go watch that breakdown on Anthony Davis's debut. And again, really appreciate you guys. Hitting 32,000 subscribers live was an absolutely awesome moment. We'll catch you in the very next Utility Sports video.